This week's best MMA bets, we're talking UFC 300. I'm going to give you guys my lock of the week, most confident picks, favorite underdogs. We'll talk Degen props of the night and then finish it out with the parlays. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn the post notifications on and make sure to share the video as well. Last week, I went with the Chalky Locky and Alex Morono and got a win with that parlay with Bajo Mondes. It came out to be pretty damn smooth. This week, I'm not putting it nearly as much on the safe side. This week's lock is not only a lock, there's also an extra bet that I'm going to have with you guys. So I'm going to jump right into it. This week's lock of the week, here it is.
Alexander Rocket!
Alexander Rakic, my UFC 300 lock. I believe he's going to beat Jiří Procházka. You look at Procházka's shoulder injury, he seems to have less power from the side. And honestly, I look at the Glover fight and he's getting caught with shots on the feet a bit. Rakic also has the option at takedowns. I think Rakic is going to win. I have to call him the lock this week. He's a very close money favorite. I hate going against Jiří Procházka, but I think picking against a fighter that I'm a big fan of for somebody what I see to have a better and trickier style, specifically in this matchup, it's a must call. So I'm calling it the lock, but I'm not just locking the bet. I'm locking the beard on it too. If Alexander Rakic loses to Jiří Procházka at UFC 300 during the full card fight companion, I will shave my beard off. So the featured prelim of the night, I'm betting my beard on my lock. I'm telling you guys, this beard's nice. I love this beard. But if I have to lose, I'll shave it off on stream for everybody to see. You guys know I don't like shaving the beard. I like to look stylish with the beard. But for 300, I figured I'll give you guys something special. I'm telling you now, though. I'm going to have my beard at the end of UFC 300. Rakic is going to win. I'm confident. Listen, betting the beard is more than just betting a couple $100. This thing is my prized possession. And I'm throwing it down on Alexander Rakic as the lock for UFC 300. And I'm going ballsy with a risk of punishment for this week's lock too. I see Rakic winning. I think he gets it on the cards. I think there's a potential for knockout, but Rakic is a guy that can play it on the safer side, mixing in takedowns. And I see him getting it done on the judges' scorecards at the end. Now, odds-wise, you've probably already been looking at it on the screen, but it's minus 120, so extremely close money favorite, Alexander Rakic. The fight opened up at near even. The odds are very close because of what Procházka has done in the past, but I see Alexander Rakic as a tricky stylistic matchup. Now, of course, there's worry with Rakic's knee injury. I understand the fear. Time off, absolutely. But I look at the performance up until the loss to Jan Blachowicz, and that's why I'm calling him the lock. I think that Rakic has kind of like a kryptonite style for Jiří Procházka, who's a guy that absorbs a good amount of damage looking for the finish. And Rakic, I think, is pretty defensively sound. So we're going with Rakic as the lock. Over is plus 125. I'm not saying throw it down to the over. I'd say just moneyline Rakic. Forget about these props. Rakic decision plus 250. Knockout plus 260. Betting-wise, prop betting, nah. Moneyline side is my A side. Minus 120 Rakic, this week's lock. I'm locking up a pretty much even Stevens deadline right down the center. And I think Rakic is going to come through for us. So we're going with Alexander Rakic this week as the lock. We got to talk about some of my most confident picks on the card. I'll bring them up on screen, and then we'll go one by one. But we'll do a quick breeze real quick. We got Jalen Turner, Bo Nickel, terrible line. Weili Zhang, terrible line. Davison Figueiredo, ugly line. But I'm giving you confidence. Forget about the lines. These are confident favorite picks. We'll talk underdogs in the next section. Jalen Turner is the one that I brought up first, and that was intentional because if he's able to stop the takedowns of Renato Moicano, he's en route to a knockout win. He's around minus 230, the favorite. Win by knockout for Jalen Turner sucks. It's minus 140. So what I'll tell you about Jalen Turner, he becomes a parlay piece. I think he's something that you mix in with another confident call at the end for a safer parlay. We will do safety parlay at the end, and we'll keep it on, the A-tier safer side when we create something. But I think Jalen Turner is getting his hand raised. And I do think he's live to knock Money Moicano out. I think he's going to stop the takedowns. I think it's a bad matchup for Money Moicano. Next one is Bo Nickel. Listen, it's a confident pick. The lines absolutely suck. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to call the prop side of it the most intriguing side. You can get Bo Nickel to win by submission. It is -140. I have an inkling that he is going to showcase his submission skills here. I know a lot of people think he's going to sit and strike with Cody Brundage and look for the KO. I think Cody Brundage is still risky on the feet to just bang like that. He's got a big overhand right. And I think Bo Nickel's going to be the better wrestler. We've seen Brundage lose fights on the ground to Cedric Dumas. And then look at the level on the opposite front of what I expect from Bo Nickel's grappling. I'm going to go Bo Nickel by sub as the official call. I do think this fight is under a round and a half at -310 as well. I think Bo's getting his hand raised, but the money line is not worth even looking at. -2,300. It absolutely sucks. It's fine. It's fine. Better money line odds coming in the dog section. Next, Weili Zhang, another wide line, but this is confidence. It's all about confidence here. Forget about lines. This is what I'm saying is confident calls as far as predictions. Weili Zhang, -510, ugly line, ugly as fuck. Over 4.5 is -105. There's a chance that she finishes Yan Xiaonan by submission. That wouldn't shock me. Zhang by sub sits at +300. Zhang inside of the distance is -125. With a Zhang decision all the way up at +200, I don't know if Xiaonan goes the full 5 with her. I know that Lemos did, but Lemos actually has some threatening jiu-jitsu. Xiaonan has dangerous striking, but on her back, she's a dead fish. We're going with Weili, high confidence. High tier confidence. Now, the final of these most confident picks, we got Deiveson Figueiredo. I think that everybody's high on Cody No Love's comeback. I know we've seen some people pick him as a first round knockout and ballsy calls on him, but I think Deiveson Figueiredo is going to give him business. Figgy's going to be a hard matchup for him. I don't think Cody Garbrandt's chin is going to be able to absorb a big shot from Figgy, but on top of that, I also believe that Deiveson Figueiredo is going to be a better grappler, more well-rounded. Cody Garbrandt's beaten back-to-back bums. No better word, bums. Brian Kelleher is a warrior, tough SOB, but he's not a good fighter in the UFC. Trevin Jones, not a good fighter in the UFC. You've seen Deiveson Figueiredo just take out Rob Font, who dog-walked Cody No Love. We got a Figueiredo who's the former champion. I know it's flyweight and he's coming up, but look what Cody did at fly. Oh, but it was, the weight cut, whatever. He got knocked out in the first round by Kai Kara-France. And then he fought two guys that are to the back end of the UFC bantamweight division, the bottom of the barrel, and now he's going to come out and beat Deiveson Figueiredo. I think we're reaching here for hope. And as a fan, how sick would it be if Cody Garbrandt came back? But realistically, Deiveson Figueiredo is going to rock him. And I think he can put him out. Garbrandt squares up a bit too much for my liking. Figgy by knockouts, the official call, +140. I don't believe Cody's chin's going to hold up. I have picked against Cody Garbrandt continuously. I'm not a Cody Garbrandt hater. I just think that he's past his prime, and I've seen the decline. And now jumping to fighting Deiveson Figueiredo, he's going to find himself in trouble. We're going Figgy. We're going knockout. I think he's going to put down Cody No Love. Those are the high confidence favorite calls on this card, but I want to talk about a section that gets more fun than this. Let's talk about the favorite underdogs. This is good. So I guess I'll have to go kind of one by one because I got 3 of my favorite underdogs. So first, I'm going to bring up the 2 male dogs, and then we'll talk about the ladies' dog, which I think is a great pick. Max Holloway, Calvin Kattar. Max Holloway is sitting at right now around +140. Over Justin Gaethje. I think Gaethje and him is a really intriguing matchup. I think Max Holloway is definitely the cleaner striker. I think Gaethje's going to have a hard time landing looping shots. The durability of Max Holloway is a factor, the volume, and also the fact that Holloway is fully dialed into this camp, becoming a real 155er, putting on the adequate amount of muscle to do damage here. I love Max Holloway to win. Over 3.5 is -170. I like over 2.5 more at -250. And looking at Holloway to win by decision, +275. I think Max Holloway can win a decision against Gaethje in a war. Gaethje in the first 2 has immense power. He's going to be ripping kicks. If Max is able to stop these kicks, which I'm going to anticipate he is able to, he's going to actually get a lot of success going with his hands. And I also believe that Max Holloway is going to have slightly better gas tank when it comes to the volume and accumulation over the 5 rounds. Not that Gaethje doesn't have a good gas tank, but he doesn't have the same volume. The boxing skill of Holloway is better. Gaethje's got better kicks. If Holloway is able to defend that nuclear kick, that calf kick from hell, he's going to be in for a pretty good night. And I don't think Justin Gaethje is going to start spamming takedowns and turning into Islam Makhachev or Khabib Nurmagomedov. He's not. It's going to be striking. And I think Max Holloway, sparring in camp, is a mythical fighter. Mythical 155 bulked up Max Holloway who's sparring again. Give me the underdog. I'm picking Max Holloway to win. I think he can pull this one off. Now, the next dog, Calvin Kattar. Listen, he's a Boston guy repping Massachusetts. I got to ride with his side. I don't think Aljamain Sterling is going to be able to bully Calvin Kattar in the grappling. I think Calvin Kattar is going to touch him a bit with the boxing. It's going to be very dependent upon positions. If Aljamain Sterling can get back control, he's going to just garner up control time. I don't think he finishes Calvin Kattar. But if the strength advantage for Kattar is there, which I believe it's going to be, and then the striking advantage, which we know is true, there is a real chance that Calvin Kattar could chin Aljamain Sterling. Kattar to win this fight via knockout is plus 390. This could end up being a violent fight. Aljamain Sterling could get caught, rocked, and dropped. Aljamain's grappling, incredible. And it's going to be a challenge for Kattar. But note that Calvin Kattar is notoriously good takedown defense and in his own right a good wrestler. Yes, he's a striker in MMA, but he's not a guy that gets bullied on the floor with ease by anyone. And I don't think Aljamain Sterling is going to be able to do such a thing. Now, I think maybe Aljo is going to be better durability-wise at 145 than he was at 135, and he'll absorb some big shots well from Calvin Kattar. You look at Calvin Kattar, his past two. What does he have? A controversial loss to Josh Emmett? I thought he won that fight. He got injured against Arnold Allen. If he comes back looking similar to the caliber that we saw him in previous fights, I really think he's a bad matchup for Aljamain Sterling because he'll keep Aljo standing, and I believe he could knock him out. And I think Aljo's going to panic when he's forced to box. Aljamain is not known for good boxing. He's got decent kicks and athleticism, but on the ground is where he shines. And if he's unable to get the bigger man there, I think he's in for trouble. Excited to see his 45-pound debut in the UFC, but I think he might be staring at the lights at the end of it. Moneyline, the best side for Calvin Kattar, I believe. But knockout prop is live. It's just Aljo upper weight class. The durability could be there, and it could be a good scrap for 3 rounds with Calvin getting it done on the cards. We shall see. Now, the next of the favorite dogs, ladies fight, Marina Rodriguez, plus 117. She's a great underdog. She's going to take Jessica Andrade. Andrade is too wild with the wide shots, and she also is taking fights, in my opinion, more so for money at this point. Plus 117 is not the juiciest line, but I think it's the line that comes to fruition. I think she's going to win the fight. Plus 117 is fair. Yeah. I like Marina Rodriguez to outstrike Jessica Andrade. I think she's en route to winning a decision over Andrade. She might knock her out, though, because Jessica Andrade is kind of just coming in wild with shots. I don't think she has the same flow. Marina Rodriguez, what is she? Plus 250 for a decision? I think Marina Rodriguez is getting it. We're going Marina Rodriguez to win this thing. I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling real good about it. I like that plus 250 decision as well. But I think decision money line is the A tier side. Your best bet on her is straight down the center. Plus 117, Marina Rodriguez. I think she's a good underdog on this card. I think she's going to win. I like the underdogs a lot that I have. I'm feeling good about them. And I think Marina Rodriguez is a great females dog to play. I think she's going to win as well. Not as wide as the other ones, but I think the likelihood is high because I feel like Andrade, she's cashing out. She don't have that same dog anymore. When the going gets tough, I think Marina is live to win. That is my favorite underdog section for UFC 300. But listen, we're not done yet. I want to talk some Degen props of the night. I want to come up with maybe some ideas of degeneracy. Now, we will revisit the Jalen Turner fight for the Degen props of the night section. Am I crazy for thinking Jalen Turner by second round knockout is very live at plus 500? I've heard other people mention it in the live chat all week. I kind of agree with them. Plus 500 for that, something worth noting. I think it's worth bringing up. That is definitely a Degen call if we've ever seen one, but it seems pretty likely. I don't know. I got a good feeling. Arman Tsarukyan to win inside of the distance, specifically TKO, but inside of the distance. Oh, it's only plus 105. I'm looking at plus 200. TKO ground and pound, it's plus 185. Tsarukyan to win in round 1 or 2. I was actually thinking 2 or 3 could be live, but we got 3 or decision. Round 1 or 2 for Tsarukyan to win the fight, currently sitting at only plus 143. I don't like to see that. I thought it was wider. I have some of these written down odds-wise, but some of them, it's just lines that I want to mention. Now, ladies fight, right? Kayla Harrison, and Holly Holm. I do think this goes over rounds at minus 155. Looking at the main event, I think that this fight goes under rounds. I think an under 3.5 at minus 260 is actually valuable. I'd be shocked if we see 4 here. I'm currently picking Alex Pereira by KO. KO for Pereira, slight up, plus 125. I do think he catches Jamal Hill coming on the inside with that rear hand low, and I think he puts him down and out. Pretty close money line. Something that becomes a bit bettable, I'd say. It's going to end inside a distance. I like the way it sounds, man. The Degen shit, though, then there's Diego Lopez. How does he get it done? Submission, Diego Lopez currently sitting at plus 275. Diego Lopez by first round submission. I'm telling you, his Degen is fuck. Plus 600. Wow. Second round is plus 900. I like that plus 900 line more, but I could see them very early getting into a grappling entanglement and Diego Lopez having a lot of success while they're dry. As they sweat, then there's more of a shot for Sadiq Yusuff to find his way out of things, weasel his way out of some positions. But if not, I think it's possible. And just for old time's sake, we got to look. This is not a recommendation by any means, but Jim Miller to win by knockout is plus 375 with a sub at plus 550. I'm picking Bobby Green to win it on the scorecards, which is plus 150. It's just not as juicy. And like people betting Jim Miller, I just want to say I respect you a lot. I have a hope that it comes to fruition. This is why Bobby Green is not in any of the confident calls right now. We'll see if that changes following the weigh-ins. But right now, Bobby Green, he's a pick. He's a decision pick, but not on the betting side like a madman. I think I got some solid calls for the most confident picks, the favorite dogs, and I think that was a good glance for the Degen props of the night section. I want to discuss some parlays. We got to come up with some savagery. First, I am going to start it without savagery, though. I'll just be straight up. We're not doing savagery to start. We're going Jalen Turner, Davis, and Figueiredo. Minus 108. This is a type of parlay to start your night off early with a W, and it's a safer call. I do believe it's going to come to fruition. Now, worries about Davis and Figueiredo for some, but I think many of us are very confident on Jalen. So I'll remove Davison and replace him with a female Brazilian savage, plus 220 for Jalen Turner and Marina Rodriguez. Now, to add more savagery to this, I'm feeling very good about this parlay with Alexander Rakic. This parlay is ringing in my ear. Jalen Turner, Marina Rodriguez, Alexander Rakic. So it's my lock. It's a high confidence, confident pick that the odds are playable, more so than some of the others. And it's Marina Rodriguez, who I'll be honest is maybe the favorite dog of the week. If I was going dog lock zone, I was thinking about going Marina, but Rakic is just something standing out to me. It's the fact that I'm so confident in a fighter against a fighter I'm a big fan of. I felt like I had to go with Rakic for that reason. Plus 495 for this one. Do you really need anything else? You want to then throw Wei Li? Now you got plus 619. Then it's worth throwing in Wei Li. Get yourself a lot of extra steam. I do think she wins. You want to risk it? With Davison, plus 858 now. Now we're going into savage territory. Do you want to maybe throw a ladies over in? Maybe you do. Plus 1533. High risk zone. Now, if we added in Bosho, what do we get for it? We still don't get 100 points. Not adding in Bosho right now. I guess we got to go blessed. To close it out, we go blessed. So we got Jalen Turner, Marina Rodriguez, Rakic, Wei Li, Davison, over 2.5, and Max Holloway. Listen, the over 2.5 is in the Harrison fight. If you are looking at this and you're like, oh, that's the guaranteed money. No, that's not what I'm saying. This is what I call the lottery ticket parlay. Somebody's going to hit one of these on this card. Maybe it's this one. I do feel good about all these picks. I think they're all very live. I think all of the methods of victory, too. The over 2.5 is a quality call as well. You're going to be shitting your pants on that Max Holloway fight when everything else comes through and then you're on the Max fight. But sometimes that's the best way to do it. Safer call, we got Jalen, we got Davison, we got Jalen Marino, we got Rakic Jalen, 2-fighter play, safer zone. Jalen with the over in the Harrison fight is great. This is me trying to be a complete degenerate here. This is me going absolute savage mode. And we'll go Pereira at the top, plus 7,248. And if this comes through, you'll be driving a fucking Lamborghini by the end of the week. I hope it does. We shall see. Bet intelligently on this card, as always. If you're looking to Degen sprinkle, make sure you emphasize these words in your mind. Sprinkle. Don't throw your fucking rent money on this right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's UFC 300 edition of this week's Best MMA Bets. The show bringing heat as always. I hope some of the new listeners will join me every week for this week's Best MMA Bets. I'm excited as fuck. Let's go. Make sure you all smash the likes. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I appreciate everybody for tuning into the show. Thank you guys all for the support. Listen, I'm putting the beard on the line because I'm very confident in the lock. I wouldn't put my beard on it unless I really saw it coming through. So let's ride into 300 with this thick beard. I'm telling you, Rakic is the feature prelim. It's exactly what I wanted. All the pressure's on me in that feature prelim, and this beard's going to be looking great for that UFC 300 main card. Much love to everybody. Smash the likes. Let me know in the comments what you lock. What are some of your favorite picks? Some of the favorite dogs, props, parlays, whatever you got. I want to hear what everybody's thinking. Let me know what you think of mine. If you got nothing to say in the comments, as always, drop a W in the chat to boost the algorithm for your boy. Much love, everybody. Peace out, and I'll see you all in the next one.